All set? All right, good morning. We're going to start the meeting now. Anybody has cell phones, you ask you to silence them, please. This is December 6th, 2016. This is a regular meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority. Present today are Chairman Bradley, Commissioner Ford, Deputy Commissioner Licensing held, Associate Counsel Marsico for Counsel's Office, and myself, Tom Donahue, the Secretary to the Authority. The next meetings of the Authority will be the 20th of December, that's a Tuesday, January 4th, which is a Wednesday, and then January 19th, which is a Thursday. We're going to call items in the order they were signed in, first in Buffalo, then Albany, and then New York City. When your item is called, please go up to the microphone and please speak into the microphone, because everything we're saying is being recorded so that people later on can listen to the proceedings. All right, Chairman, do you have any other announcements? No. All right. The first item in Buffalo is 2628 Bikram Inc.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioner. My name's Chester Menken. I'm the consultant that handled the liquor license application for Bikram Inc. With me is the sole licensee, Jagdpreet Singh, and we're here to answer any questions you have concerning his liquor license application for an AX license.
Is he related to the person who was previously licensed at this location?
No, sir.
Does he know him?
He doesn't know him. He never met him. The first contact he had is a NOCO person that told him that there was a grocery store for sale at that location, and that's when he met the person that was the landlord and got a lease. He didn't know the previous licensee. No contact with him or doesn't know him.
Has the store been open all along?
Yes, sir.
The reason I ask you that is because on his application, there's a question. Do you have any relationship with the current previous licensee or any of the principals of the licensee? And he said yes. And he wrote nephew.
I think we made a mistake on that, sir. I'm going to correct that. That is totally untrue.
Really?
Well, he's right here to answer any question.
How does nephew end up on? Here's the question: how does nephew end up on the application if you're not?
One of my employees did the liquor license application. I don't know where he got that from.
And to be honest with you, his signature is literally 2 inches below the word nephew, where he signed the application.
Was it the old mistake?
No, it was just a mistake that we made.
Pick one.
Well, if the previous license wasn't revoked and for not paying a $10,000 fine, I'd probably be more ready to believe you. But that's a pretty big mistake.
Well, I'm telling you that was our mistake, and
Just so you know, Chairman, for the
swear to
history
that.
of the disciplinary, they did challenge the revocation in court, and the petition was dismissed. And they also agreed they wanted to come back and pay the $10,000 fine, but that reconsideration request was denied.
That we wouldn't let them pay the...
Correct.
Oh, to reopen, you mean?
Yeah.
And when was that?
Man. Find this guy's history. Back in, like, June of 2013.
the applicant has been working off a temporary license right now, and there has been no problem since he got his temporary license.
How long has he had his temporary license?
2 months?
2 months.
2 months?
Yeah, October 7th. Generally, we would not have issued those.
Gotcha.
Probably just an oversight.
Because we're from different country, last names and everything.
The applicant will tell them.
Yeah, because we have a totally different last names, totally different cultures, you know, I mean.
Where's the former, when you say that, what's the culture of the former owner? You just said you didn't know him.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know them as personally, you know, I just met them through the NOCO, one of the NOCO worker, and he, you know, guided me that they're leasing out this place, so that's how I met them. And because they're from Pakistan, I'm from India, and totally different cultures, different last names. Clearly a
But
mistake.
Didn't you just tell me a minute ago that he didn't know him?
Not to know them. I
No,
don't know.
I'm talking to your representative. Didn't 2 minutes ago you just tell me he didn't know them?
He didn't know them until the NOCO representative said the new license was being, that somebody could apply for a license at that location. That's when he went there to meet with the landlord,
To lease
from
the
what I
place.
had, to lease the premise.
Right, but the landlord is not the former licensee, is he?
No, but he did know who the former applicant was.
Well, what part of my question didn't you understand? I asked you if he knew the former licensee, and you told me no, he went and met with the landlord. Now he's telling me he does know them.
No, I don't know the licensee. I mean, I didn't. I just met everybody when I started to lease the place. You know, that's how I saw them. You know, they were inside the building because the business was still running. And I
Do you
don't-
have any
I don't-
questions?
You know, I'm just stuck on this whole thing with nephew here. It looks like different handwriting from yours. Convince me, how did that happen?
My, one of my employees did the liquor license application. Usually the personal questionnaire is handwritten, and then we type it up, and I don't know exactly how this occurred. I did not do the application. I'm just the owner of Consulting Alcohol Management. He made a mistake, because I've talked to the applicant. Now he knows nothing about him.
All right,
All right,
all right.
let's go.
I'm going to deny because this just does not look, it's not clean, it's not easily understandable. I'm not sure what happened here, but I'm not comfortable with it, so I'm going to vote to deny.
I'm going to vote to deny too. We can reapply, but there's just too many unanswered questions.
All right, thank you.
We have one more item in Buffalo. It's 2649.
2640.
Angelica Tea Room LLC.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning. Chanel McCarthy here on behalf of the applicant. I'm also accompanied by principal licensee applicant Harry Zemsky. As I understand, this is before the board because the prior operator had the license revoked or canceled for various reasons. I believe the board probably has some questions as to whether or not there's any relationship between the prior operators and the current applicant. There is absolutely no connection, no relationship whatsoever. And I can say with absolute certainty that neither of the licensee applicants, the principals, have any connection or relationship with the prior operators.
And their hours are 4 to 12?
That's correct, 4 p.m. until midnight.
And can you just explain to me the live music that they plan on having?
Yes, Mr. Zemsky, would you like to explain that?
Yeah, if live music at all, it's a very small space, kind of a pre-dinner cocktail bar. So when we said live music, maybe occasionally an upright bassist, 1 or 2 piece, nothing very loud, just background music, if any.
It says here just a jazz trio, that type of music?
That type of thing, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. Again, you know, the history of the place is not good. Perhaps you can do a better job of maintaining and exercising control over it, so I'm going to vote to approve.
I'll vote to approve as well. I'm going to make the 4 to 12 part of the license, though. Is that all right?
Do you have any issue with being restricted to 4 to 12?
I mean, our business plan is to not go past 12, but I would like to
So 4-1, is that better?
That's better, you know, if possible, I'd like
Well, I
to
mean,
have the same.
you can always come back and ask for more, but for right now, I'll go 4-1, given the history of the place.
Sure, that's fine.
4-1 it is. Good luck.
Thank you.
Any other items in Buffalo?
There's no other items in Buffalo.
So we'll go to Albany now. 2631 SG Bourbon LLC.
This was a
Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Commissioner Ford. Michael Gary on behalf of the applicant. I'm here with Jason Southwood, who's the managing member of the LLC. We appreciate your time this morning. We were approved, I think about 6 or 8 weeks ago for 2,500 square feet of retail. This was a suite that was available in the shopping center at 5,700 feet. Subsequent to the approval, we dealt with the landlord, and the landlord had indicated that they had additional tenants that would have taken the space. So we had really no choice other than to not take the space or to lease the entire 5,700 feet. We are asking for a modification of the board's approval to allow us an additional 1,800 square feet that would feature New York products, basically be called the New York Room. Our clients are interested in doing educational and doing lectures with New York producers. As you know, we also have a 20% New York SKU requirement, and we're just finding that it'd be approximately about $36,000 more a year without for the 5,700 feet than if we were able to, say, be in 4,000 feet, Mr. Chairman, 2,500 retail, 1,500 storage or so. So our concern is that this additional rent that we're going to have to pay needs to be supported by business. And for that reason, we're asking for a modification to allow us to create this New York Room featuring New York products and teaching materials and audiovisual material. We plan to do tastings in New York products. We plan to do lectures on New York products. We plan to feature New York products in that room and New York other dry goods that we are allowed to sell. But it certainly is going to be a great room, and it was going to feature New York's situation. It just becomes a situation because our concern is that we'll be able to generate enough sales to service the lease.
All right.
And we ask, therefore, for a modification of our approval.
All right. So again, just, I'm slow. How much of the 4,200 feet is going to be retail?
If we had the 1,780, it would be about 4,280, but the retail space in that room will be 2 shelves, Jace, 3 shelves?
It's 2 wine racks, probably 20 foot long each. A lot of the problem is the shelving isn't your typical shelving. It's about 4 foot off the wall, so it really shrinks down the space. That's the issue. But you know, obviously it's purchased and already up. So that's what it's to feature New York products in there, along with other, you know, even non-alcohol but alcohol-related paraphernalia, wine glasses made in the Adirondacks. I have wine openers, bottle openers, the guy who's going on Shark Tank to do. I mean, it's all stuff from this region, mostly that's going to be in that room. There is some other storage in that room as well.
All right. Anyone there to speak in protest?
Yes, there is opposition.
All right. Can we hear them, please?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Board. My name is Mario DiMancantonio. I own Mario's Wine and Spirits, located at 264 North Greenbush Road, Troy, New York. I would like to ask the Chairman and the Board to deny the request to reconsider the square footage of SG Bourbon LLC licensee at 75 Vandenberg Ave, Troy, New York. As per the Chairman and the Board back in September, at the hearing, the Board approved SG Bourbon LLC a license for only 2,500 square foot of retail floor space and 20% of New York state products to be sold at that location. The chairman and the board had reviewed and stated that due to the Hellers out in West Sand Lake opening a much larger store, all of the stores in the area had shown a loss in their sales. So I feel, and as the last hearing back in September, the chairman and the board felt that that time, a much larger store in this location at 75 Vandenberg Ave, Troy, New York, would definitely put an impact on the sales of the 6 existing stores which are within 3 miles of each other and that have been supporting the community for years. I would like the chairman and the board to know that SG Bourbon LLC has not made any changes to the size of that licensed location at 75 Vandenberg Ave, Troy, New York, as per the board's request during the last hearing in September, when you issued them a license based on the stipulations that they could only use 2,500 square foot of retail space and they must have 20% New York state products. If they don't comply with those regulations that the board issued, then they should not have a license for that location. So with this being said, I am against the request to reconsider. I would also like the chairman and the board to send an investigator to 75 Vandenberg Ave, Troy, New York location to see if SG Bourbon LLC are in compliance with the regulations set by the board back in September. I am requesting that the board do a fair thing in this matter. Thank you for the opportunity to voice my concerns. Sincerely, Mario Di Micantonio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am inclined not to approve this expansion because you're already larger than anyone else and you'd just be dwarfing them. That concerns that's a concern to me.
Is it accurate to say that you tried to,
Mr. Chairman, we have one other party in
let me-
opposition.
can I
If you
finish-
wish to
can I-
hear them first,
can I finish my question?
absolutely. So-
Is it accurate that you tried with the landlord to downsize the space and you weren't able to do that?
We did, yes. They indicated they had 2 backup tenants that would come in and take the space the entire 5,700 feet.
And based on the limitations we put on, your storage would have been close to 3,000 square feet?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Also, to comment on Mario's thing, we haven't even opened yet, so
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not,
exactly sure.
I don't want you to respond to him. I understand his objection, that's not really. So I'm inclined to grant it, given that when I put this limitation on it, I was under the belief that you would be able to at least get rid of a portion of the space by downsizing with the landlord, and I'm taking you at your word that that's not possible. And given the fact that you're going to make this entire area devoted to New York products, I think that's obviously another positive reason to grant the extra, and it's 1,700 square, what'd you say it was, 1,780 square feet?
1,780 additional retail space, Mr. Chairman.
So I would vote to approve it. I don't know whether you're...
Excuse me, Chairman, my name is Matthew Hugg. I haven't had a chance to speak. I'm on the list. I'm in opposition. I'm representing the wine skill.
Okay, go ahead.
Members of the board, my name is Matthew Hugg. I represent BCH Corporation, the owner-operator of the Wine Skill. It's in Wine and Skill, which is part of the town of North Greenbush. And to the extent that you're not familiar with this location, the applicant's store is essentially on the border of North Greenbush. North Greenbush is already serviced by 3 package stores.
What's the name of what's the name of your store?
I don't see it here.
Wine Skill Wines and Spirits, BCH Corp.
You're not one of the 4 closest stores.
Well, I beg to differ on that, Mr. Chairman. We're in the very same town. We're in the same county. I believe that some of the comparables that you've used aren't even in the same county. They're on the other side of the Hudson River. They are not.
Well, I mean, what we use is distance, and they may be on the other side of the Hudson River, but they're closer than you are.
Well,
or 3.5.
I think that if you take a Google map to find a roadway and to look to the community itself, with all due respect, there is simply no comparison between package stores that are on the other side of the river in Albany County to the Wine Skill, which services the exact same community as the applicant proposes to serve.
Okay. Well, this license is already granted, so I
I
guess
understand that.
if your opposition is about the increase of 1,700 square feet devoted to New York products, most of which is going to be a tasting room, I'm willing to listen to that, but we're not taking the license away, so.
I understand that, Mr. Chairman, and that's exactly where I would like to guide my remarks, because to begin with, just to address what the applicant just stated, which was we need the extra space in order to make our rent and sell more products, but at the same time, this extra space isn't really going to be used for much more than education. So I find that difficult to square. That said, the licensee, the applicant, was initially requesting this very same amount of space. And this board examined their application and said that it was too large to fit within the community, that it was not within the public convenience to have 42 square feet of space. And here they come back under the guise of a New York room to get the very same relief that was previously denied, with no additional evidence to put before this board. And I would remind this board that earlier this year, my client, an applicant, had built an entire store in Columbia County and put to the board that this was going to be a ginormous financial stress on them, because they would have a building that they could no longer use. So I don't find it to be at all relevant that the applicant conveniently states, without any evidence to back it up, that they're going to have financial distress if you don't expand the amount of real retail space that they're going to be able to have. The idea that you're to look to the public convenience and not to an applicant's financial position that they've put themselves in is I don't think of any concern at all. Moreover, there is space. Our investigation has exposed that there is space in the same plaza that is of smaller dimension that the applicant could easily and readily use. With respect to this New York room, I believe that it's just a simple end around in an effort to expand a store that is already going to be too large for the area. All that's there is a community college. The new housing that's going to be put there is for community college students, who obviously the vast majority of which are not going to be of legal age to consume alcohol. So to the extent that this board is desirous or is willing to grant space, additional space, to the applicant, as it seems as though it is, I think that the only fair way to proceed, given the fact that just less than 3 months ago, before they've even opened, their retail space, the amount of floor space that they were able to devote to retail, was curtailed to 2,500 square feet, that it continued to be so. And if they wanted to devote a New York room to education and videos, that they would be permitted to do that, but not to so easily just expand the amount of retail space that they're going to have on such a whim as we're going to have a New York room, and our landlord is telling us that he could have gotten a better deal had he not leased to us if we can't use the whole space. While I'm sorry to hear that they're going to be involved in some kind of bad financial deal, that is not the basis upon which to expand retail space, and to the detriment of the community, as well as to the various other liquor stores that have been in business in this area for up to 70 years.
We have 30%, almost 30%.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. I'm willing to let you expand a little bit, but not 1,700 square feet. Maybe 500 feet to like 3,000, something like that. But not if it's the full 1,700, I'm going to vote to deny.
Well, we would appreciate, Mr. Chairman, or
Yes,
Member
and I
Ford,
can't speak for the
any relief
chairman
we could
either.
get. So it's just a situation where our concern is that we're going to have enough floor space to generate sales to pay this rent.
Yeah. I empathize with you.
So they're asking for 780. Can you live with 1,200? 1780, I mean, they're asking for.
1780.
The proposal is 1780 additional square feet, Mr.
So can you
Commissioner.
live with 1,200 square feet?
1,200 additional square feet.
Right. Because I would do the 1780, but if you aren't comfortable with that, I'll split the difference or try to.
Do I hear 1,000?
1,200.
Don't encourage him, okay? 1,200.
All right, so we're going to grant you 1,200 additional square feet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
3,700 square feet total. We're doing the 20%.
Yeah. Hey, all the other stipulations are in effect.
They are going to investigate.
All right,
right? But they don't exactly-
Are there any other matters in Albany?
No, no further matters.
Okay, so we're going to move to New York now, and the first matter is 2632 Best Astoria Wines Limited.
Good morning, Thomas Burke for the applicant. The applicant is Mr. Vasilios Tentaloris, who's here with his son Thomas Tentaloris. I'm sure you've read the submission. I'd just like to say that Mr. Tentaloris has been a small businessman in Astoria for 45 years. His history with the...
So we have opposition here?
It's the reconsideration.
Right, so they don't need to go yet. I don't need to hear, the issue with this license wasn't about your client. He clearly is a good businessman, he has great reputation, he's running a great grocery store. This denial was about public convenience and advantage. I haven't seen you present anything different here than we heard the last time.
Well, Mr. Tentaloris has 250,000 customers a year at his store. Those customers were used to, at his old store, walking 25 feet to Omega and buying their Greek wine. Now that he's moved, those 250,000 people who are dedicated clientele of his must now either walk 4 blocks to buy Greek wine or drive 5 blocks to buy Greek wine at Omega. He has 12 dedicated parking spaces. One of them is a handicap space, and if
But
they're-
see, that was what we argued about last time.
But, I mean,
And
that's
I
a-
don't see the
that's
4
a
blocks
model of
being,
convenience and advantage.
but I don't see the 4 blocks as being an inconvenience.
Well, it's an inconvenience to people who come from Pennsylvania, from New Jersey, from Connecticut, from Long Island, from upstate to shop at his store. They're not aware of the 4 blocks, where the other store is, how to drive.
Well,
You know, it's.
I just haven't seen anything new here, so I don't know whether he has any questions.
Is this correct? You're asking to be allowed to carve out
62 and a half square feet. You just gave the guy 1,780 square feet.
Well, does your client want to move to Troy?
No.
Because then we don't have a problem. Because I can guarantee you there's not a Greek store like his in Troy.
62 and a half square feet, for the convenience of all those people who shop at his store. They're the same people who shopped at his store when it was in Agora Plaza. They followed him to an out-of-the-way location. He's not on a commercial corridor like the other closest stores. He's not on Ditmars Boulevard. He's not on 31st Street. He's in amongst not even stores to go to. It's mostly financial, insurance, real estate. He offers everything. He offers the parking. He offers Greek food. And all he's asking for is Greek and Cypriot wine.
We don't need, wait until I tell him he can hear it.
All right.
Well, he's not asking for Greek and Cypriot wine. He applied for a liquor license. He
he's-
didn't
but
apply
he's-
for a wine license.
Yes, that's a mistake then. He wants only Greek and Cypriot wine. 90 to 100 SKUs. That's all he wants.
Well, that's not what he applied
Oh,
for.
then please,
No,
let's
no, no, no,
rectify
no, no,
it.
no.
He wants
It
only
wasn't,
wine.
it was.
Only wine.
It is a
I didn't
wine
do the
store.
original
It's a
application,
typo
so.
Oh, it's a typo? Okay,
Yep.
it's our mistake.
I
It
didn't
is a
do the
wine
original
store.
application.
Sorry, it's wine.
It's only wine. And it's exclusively Greek and Cypriot wine.
Okay.
From no other place in the world.
All right. May we hear from your?
I don't know that we have to. Are you voting to reconsider, or?
Yeah, I'll vote to reconsider.
I vote not to reconsider, so. I haven't seen anything new here, and no, you don't need to.
That was new, wasn't it? That it's not a liquor store, that it's a wine
No, it's
store?
not new. It was a wine store all the way through the
chairman didn't seem
application.
to know that. It's new to the
I'm
chairman.
reading the front page, but
He's reading
when
the
we,
front
when
page.
we rejected this the last time, we had these arguments. I'm not going to rehash the whole argument again. This was denied on public convenience and advantage. There's plenty of other Greek wines nearby, and I don't see anything new that was presented on the reconsideration, so I'm not going to
Other stores have 24, 25 SKUs of Greek wine. Really nothing. I visited the other stores.
That's not what was presented last time, and the other stores,
presented last
no, when the other stores talked, that was not, they didn't say 25, they said multiple
I went in
higher
those
numbers
stores.
than
I
that.
took pictures
I'm
of
not reconsidering, that's where we're at.
Thank you.
And Commissioner, you had voted to grant reconsideration.
Yes.
So the split vote.
So it's over.
All right, the next item is 2650 Fun Fest LLC.
Good morning, everyone. Robert Romano, here with Barbara Maselli, Ramona Martin, and Barbara's husband, Bob, who's not one of the principals.
So I just have quick questions. This was a bowling alley previously?
It was a bowling alley previously. The community board, one of their main objections was there was already a licensed premise, which they purchased.
That's what I was going to ask you. So what is their objection?
That's what I was going to ask you.
I don't know either.
I haven't been clear, it doesn't seem
It doesn't,
clear.
and they were arguing there were too many licensed premises within the area. There didn't even fall under a 500-foot area.
So the next question I have is the live music. Where and how and what's that going to look like?
Karaoke and no live music.
Oh, so you're not going to do live music?
No.
Okay.
And I have to say, I've been working with them for several months, and they're just salt of the earth people.
And what's the hours?
The hours of the bowling center are from 9 in the morning. We usually open around 8, get everything up and running. We're open from 9 in the morning until somewhere between 12 and 2 in the morning.
Okay. All right.
The bar is not open that late during the week.
So if I put 2 on the license, you're fine with that?
That's fine.
Okay. And no live music, so I don't know if you have any questions.
No, I can't imagine a bowling alley that you can't get a beer. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I vote to approve.
I'll vote to approve 2 with hours of 9 to 2 and no live music.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Have a nice day.
Yeah.
All right, the next matter is 2653 Wine, Art, and Liquor, Inc. There's also I don't know if it's been signed in yet.
Oh, this was
No,
filed,
you're
this
right.
was filed before
And no one
the-
signed in for the other matter
Yeah,
yet,
but this
so-
one was filed first, right?
Yes.
So we'll do this one.
Morning, Leonard Fogelman, attorney for the applicant, with my client Carlos Maholi, who's the sole principal. This is a application for a liquor store in Astoria.
So is there any protest here? No. Okay, go ahead.
Carlos has a business in Astoria, has lived in Astoria. He saw an opportunity here when 275 feet away from his proposed store, the owner of a other liquor store passed away in March.
What was the name of that store?
DGC, Astoria Boulevard Liquor Corp., serial number 1039139. After the gentleman's death, the store closed. May I approach and show you a photo showing how close it is to the
Yes.
store that closed? Thank you.
Jackie, is that?
Yep, 3818 Astoria Boulevard. I'm just checking the stats.
Right.
The blue awning is the store
Okay.
that closed.
Yep.
It's visible, same side.
When did it close, Jackie?
Surrendered April of 2016.
Okay.
Okay.
The population of Astoria has gone up slightly. We presented you with pictures of a couple of relatively new residential buildings within a block or two of the proposed store, as well as a photo of an office building, which opened a block away. If you have any questions to ask us, we'll be happy to answer them. He's a good entrepreneur, a good businessman.
Is he going to have a manager, or I see he's keeping his current employment. Well, how is he going to operate the store?
No, I'll manage. What time I'll just switch around because my other business I can send drivers out to do.
Of the 1,800 square feet, how much is going to be retail?
1,000.
1,000? Okay. You ready?
Yep.
I'm going to, excuse me, vote to approve based on the fact there was another store there recently that just closed right next door. And I'd like you to limit it to, I'll even give you 1,200. All right? Assuming the chairman agrees.
Yeah, I'm going to vote to approve as well. You're replacing another store that the license was surrendered in April of this year, and based on your representative's picture, it looks like your store is really within a couple hundred feet of that, so it's replacing an old licensee. So I'll vote to approve.
Chairman, are you approving up to the 1,200 square feet?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I'm assuming you're using the whole first floor, right, in the basement storage. Yeah.
Storage also.
The main floor will be there's retail space and some storage, and there's also the basement.
Right. So whatever, with a 1,200 square feet is fine.
1,200 retail.
Yeah.
All right. The next item is 2589, Aid Group Corp.
Yes, we have a offer of a penalty for this. The violation basically was we had to file a corporate change, which we filed, which was approved on October 27th. We have a $2,500 civil penalty in front of you.
I'll accept.
I'll accept.
Thank you very much. Have a good holiday.
You too.
Next item is 2629, Silhouettes, Inc.
Good morning, Thomas J. Murphy and Shazana for the applicant.
She here?
Pardon?
Is she here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, have her come up. Yeah. So she applied for this. I remember this case. So she applied for this and really didn't have a business plan of what she wanted to be. Now it seems to be a little more defined.
Correct, Your Honor.
You're gonna have you're gonna shut at 10 p.m.
That's what we spoke about, 10 p.m. Generally, that's what the restaurant business is over in Newburgh by then. She was hoping that for 11 o'clock on Fridays and Saturdays.
And what's the music? Is there going to be any?
There'll be recorded music or jukebox
Okay.
eventually.
Looks like this has some instances of being disorderly, that kind of stuff in the past.
I'll give you a brief history of this restaurant bar. It's the Arch. It's been in Newburgh since I can remember. For many, many years, it was a neighborhood anchor. It was a heavily Italian neighborhood, and over the years it changed. And throughout the late 90s and the early 2000s, it became a real transition neighborhood, and things were going pretty bad there. There's been a bit of a renaissance in Newburgh, and this neighborhood is stabilized. It's now a large Latino and Hispanic population, working class people, and this would be really a neighborhood bar restaurant, as it has been for 70 years.
All right. I'll vote to approve. I don't see any protest.
I'll vote to approve as well with an 11 o'clock closing on all nights. No live music, no DJs, no promoters. And I live near Newburgh, so I know what some of these places turn into when you're not doing the business you thought you were going to do. And if this turns into that, you see, I remember when you were here the last time, I will close this very quickly. Because the last thing Newburgh needs is another place where shootings occur and, they're open till all hours of the night. So as long as you're going to do what you say you're doing, then I'm fine with it. But once that changes, then there's going to be problems. But I'll approve on those grounds.
Thank you.
Commissioner, you're okay with those?
Yes.
What? No, not right now, no. All right, the next item is 2645 Lower East Wine, Inc.
Good morning, Robert Skeen, Skeen Law Firm, representing the applicant, Lower East Wine, Inc. With me is the sole principal, Nima Abdel Malik. And I believe there is opposition.
Yeah, let's hear from the opposition.
Hello, my name is Shelley McClure. I own September Wines and Spirits. I'm here to oppose the opening of this retail wine and liquor store. The neighborhood has an abundance of retail wine and liquor stores already. There are 6 existing stores within a 3-block radius. And I don't know if you have my packet that I sent, but I have clearly shown maps.
Yes, we have it, yep.
Since I came before this board 11 years ago, 4 new wine liquor stores have opened in this neighborhood: Bowery and Vine, East Houston Wine and Liquor, Urban Wines, and September Wines, and we do not need a 5th. There is a store the store that already exists at the mouth of the 2nd Avenue subway is Bowery and Vine on one side, and actually Urban Wines is just on the other side of Houston, at the other side of the subway. So for public convenience, we're already supplying that. The neighborhood is in decline. I have had slumping sales for the past 2 years, and I have those exhibits B to show. And there's been no increase in population in this neighborhood. There are shuttered stores. They have not refilled since 2008, and people are not moving into this neighborhood. Buildings have been torn down, and they have been replaced with hotels. And hotels are not a consistent business for us. And the only new residential construction is on my block, and we are fulfilling their needs. Our store, we carry New York wines and ciders. We carry 700 SKUs in total. So we are supplying what the neighborhood needs. And I ask that you do not grant this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Leo Gitaishvili from East Houston Street Wine and Spirits.
I didn't hear you. What was that? Which one?
East Houston Street Wine and Liquor.
Okay.
On the grounds of public convenience, we also see that the neighborhood is saturated with retail outlets for wines and spirits. And between the stores, we do offer a variety of wines as well as spirits and cider. So we don't see, on those grounds, we don't see neighborhood needs additional liquor and wine outlet.
Thank you.
Good morning. Joseph Levy here representing Urban Wines. As has been laid out by the 2 former licensees who presented to you this morning, this is a neighborhood that is not going through an incredible growth. There's not new construction. There's one big residential construction project, but it's currently been pending for 5 years with no end in sight.
What's that?
I don't know the exact address of it, but I know that there's been 5 years worth of construction. They're still not done. 186 Houston Street. The stores here seem to sufficiently serve the neighborhood. If you look at the sales of the stores, of the 4 closest stores, they're just a minor uptick. Some are sloping backwards, and some of the increases, like my client's store, for instance, is a slight increase, and I would tell you that that's a gross sales number, and they've had to do an unbelievable amount of work to do that, and that's, working with these groups like Drizzly, that's doing extra deliveries, that's costing them so much more than it had before. So the actual profit isn't what the gross sales necessarily increased, but you all know that. You have 3 stores here within 1,000 feet of the proposed application, very, very close and on the same block or sort of the same block here. It doesn't seem that the addition of a store here would serve the public convenience and advantage, considering that the stores that are here have modest sales, are increasing modestly at best or going backwards, and carry a tremendous amount of SKUs ranging from popular brands to New York State brands to small boutique vineyards and distilleries.
Thank you.
Good morning again. If I just may give a brief overview of my client's method of operation here. It's going to be a 650 square foot store. My client has been in the business for many years, managing a store uptown. He knows the trends. He knows what the people of Manhattan are looking for. And he's going to be carrying a plethora of national wines and spirits, along with some more New York-related products, organics too, which are doing very well across the board. They want to have a specialty for New York City distilled spirits. Apparently that is becoming very popular in this area, and he's going to be featuring that. This area, contrary to what the opposition has said, is dynamic. It is undergoing a rebirth. East Houston, we're about a few doors in from East Houston. East Houston is becoming the next Park Avenue. There is construction going on. A lot of the vacant slots are becoming developed or soon will be developed. I provided the board with an article from the New York City Economic Development Corporation website about the Essex Street and Delancey Street, which is a couple blocks over from where my client is, about the major redevelopment there. So contrary to what was been said, this is a developing dynamic area, and it is not in decline. And again,
But do you have any population numbers showing that the population at least in the zip code has gone up?
No, I do not, but I do have, just to what was said about the neighborhood is in decline. The person, Ms. McClure, said the neighborhood is in decline, and at the same breath, she said there's hotel construction. Hotels are not being constructed in neighborhoods that are in decline.
Well, I
Hotels
think
are being
she's talking about residential.
True, but the overall, to show that there is a dynamic growth here. And speaking of dynamic growth, I'd like to counter. I've been hearing how the sales are slumping. I'm looking at Urban Wine and Spirits. I'm looking over 25% growth over from 14 to 15. And it looks like.
Well, he wasn't open all of 14. No, he got his. That's my concern with this application. His license was granted in February, at the end of February in 2014, so there was 2 months he didn't sell. And the next closest was granted in March of 2013. And both of those licensees are within 900 feet.
I'm looking at. Okay. So I'm looking at Urban Wines. What was submitted? What we got through the FOIA request.
Right.
And in 2013, he shows 248,000 sales, which granted is probably partial year. But then for 2014, it shows 1.1.
Oh, then do we have the wrong information? Can you look up when was Urban? When did you get your license?
Urban got it in February 2014.
JCCSM Inc. I'm talking about.
Urban was February 2014.
But he's here. When did you get it? And your new store? There wasn't anybody there before you? Yeah, so I don't know where you're getting 2013 sales from.
From the FOIA request. What was filled out on the...
I mean, the information I have is he was not open in 2013, correct?
I'd be happy to show you.
Yeah,
Mr.
let me,
Chairman.
I don't know.
Oh, there's no ST. Hang on. They put it on there.
So, I mean, can you come over here, sir? Were you open in 2013? You filled this out.
No, he did.
Oh.
There was a mistake in front of that.
Okay. I mean, the other numbers are on my sheet they're accurate for 2014, 15, and 16, but I don't.
We showed the
So that, I mean, that goes back to my point is that they weren't open January and February of 2014, so that's not a full year. Although, even if you extrapolate, there has been a slight increase.
It does look like they are increasing.
But as he said, you know, he did give an explanation for that. And then the next closest is March of 2013. And both of those stores are within 900 feet of your client's location. So
Yes,
And the next
the
one
other
is
one
in
was
April of
Gary's Liquor.
14.
well, Gary's Liquor was open previously. That was an older store.
Right, and then I'm looking at about 50% growth rate.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is I don't know that we've seen what these two new licenses are going to do to the other existing licenses. 2014 is, to me, a new license still.
I'm just looking at the growth rate of 50% in their first year, and it looks like they're going to have another close to 50% this year.
Okay, go ahead.
And again, that's where I want to, saying that this neighborhood is getting back to my argument here, that my client, when he was looking, he knows about public convenience and advantage, how difficult it is to site a new store in Manhattan. And he was spent a lot of time searching for this, and he saw a bit of an oasis here. The one that was very close was the September Wines, which really is a boutique store. This store is only about 500 square feet. They specialize in, I guess would be hard to find or more rare wines. In fact, I will, I'm sure they'll counter this, but from their website, it specifically says September Wine and Spirits specializes in small production, earth-friendly wines from around the world. We support smaller, family-run vineyards where true passion and generations of pride go into the winemaking, where quality is valued over quantity. This is not the type of operation that my client is going to be working on. He's going to be doing a neighborhood package store with a wide variety of national products, both spirits and wine, also catering to specific tastes of the neighborhood. I do agree that September Wine's sales have not been going up dramatically. They're rather flat, but I attribute that to the method of operation that they employ and what they're doing.
You don't attribute it to the store that we put there in February of 2014? That's literally 400 feet from them?
No. As a matter of fact, when I was looking at the website last night, I see that they're doing a big internet trade, and I did order some product from my office in New Jersey for delivery into New Jersey. I may approach.
Has it been delivered? No. Well, I'm assuming she's going to...
Some people come up here to complain about someone that wants to do legitimate business in their neighborhood, follow the rules of the State Liquor Authority and the New York ABC.
Well, I mean, that's not going to affect, I mean, that may affect our business, but it's not going to, as far as what we do with that information,
I'm
but...
just making that point that, these people come up to complain,
Right.
yet
Do you have
they're
any
not following the rules.
questions?
My client wants to follow the rules here.
No, I understand that. I mean, when I get into these arguments, it's rarely about the client. I mean, I'm sure based on what I have seen of his experience and what he intends to do, I'm fine with it. It's just a question of, we have literally 4 stores within 1,000 feet. That's a 2-minute walk
And this is on...
in a walking neighborhood.
East Houston is a...
The very reason we do that, go outside the neighborhood, is just because we don't have enough.
East Houston is a two-way, it's one of the few two-way thoroughfares running east to west. He's a few doors down from East Houston. It's tremendous. Contrary to what they're saying, I've been there. I haven't been there in a few years. I was there a few weeks ago. I was surprised at how really nice it's starting to look, and the care that's been going into that area. I see this as a very dynamic neighborhood, as something that, and again, I've looked at the growth over the last, again, you're saying 2014 is new, but I'm looking at the growth rate here. I mean, I wish my business could have growth rate like that. This is, to me, from the package store business, which most stores are pretty flat as it is, these stores are experiencing tremendous growth. There's room for one more here, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I disagree that they're experiencing growth. I would say that they are holding their own. And are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, and based on the fact we have a couple of relatively new licenses in the area, a couple of 100 feet away, I don't see it as an oasis, so I'm going to vote to deny.
I'm going to vote to deny as well. There's 4 stores within 1,030 feet of this location. 2 of them are, one is 2 years old and the other is 3 years old that we just licensed. And while the sales seem consistent on all the 5 closest, I just think I don't believe that we've seen the effect that these new licenses are going to have on this area yet. You know, in a year from now, I'd probably be more comfortable if the numbers are still going up, but right now I'm not prepared to put another one in there. So I'm going to vote to deny as well.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, the next item is 2627, American Multi-Cinema, Inc.
Good morning, Robert Skeen, representing American Multi-Cinema, Inc.
So the only question I have, is this going to run exactly as the other ones?
Yes.
Okay. So they are going to have tables at the seats?
Yes, they will have tables attached to the seats. We are having runners here, and I think there was some confusion, or we had gotten an opinion letter from former counsel Flug that for another client about having runners, not having the need for runners. However, this was AMC is actually the client. In 2012, they put that in. They are going to continue that method of operation as that was what they had planned.
It's runners for the food only, not the alcohol.
And yes,
You're right. Yeah, I
Okay, but
understand.
that's-
if you
I know,
buy
but that's-
popcorn and candy, you can bring that yourself. It's the entrees, the stuff that's coming out of the kitchen will be.
And the alcohol they purchase at the bar and walk in
One
themselves?
drink per customer, and all alcohol sales are made at the bar. We don't want to take any additional chances on in a darkened environment.
One drink per customer at a time, or
One drink per transaction, sir.
per transaction? Okay, all right.
And the IDing and everything that they're doing at their other locations is all going to be consistent at this location?
Yes.
Okay.
If I may ask what the board's policy is towards runners having delivery of food, or should that be brought up in a separate proceeding? I know this
Well, you'd rather not have
will
it?
be asking that question. Do they plan on expanding in New York? This is their first foray.
So what are you actually asking? Is that
Yeah, I
going to
don't-
be, is that going to be
have
part of?
waitstaff service for at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
In my view, but, I mean, but that's not been brought to us here, so I mean,
It's not up before a formal application. I'm just trying to get some information. Because when I go back to my client, that's the question they're going to ask me. Our next one, do we need to do this? So I'll tell them that we need to make a declaratory ruling.
yeah, I would do that. That's probably the best idea, because I'm not saying I wouldn't consider expanding it, but I'm not going to do that right now.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
No. We need a minute.
Ready? Yeah, I'm willing to approve. I see the Hempstead has approved it with your change in methodology.
Yeah, there was a lot of I think there was misunderstanding of what they were doing.
Yeah.
And the president of the company, or vice president, had come in and he had worked with the town, even though we're not within 500 feet, but of course, my client wants good relations with
Yeah,
their
yeah, so I think it's a cool idea. I'm willing to approve.
I'll approve as well.
Thank you very much.
All right.
The next item is 2648. It's a request for declaratory ruling regarding 192 Grand Street in Manhattan.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioner Mike Palutis on behalf of Domino LLC.
How long has this been closed?
2.5 years?
Almost 3 years, is my understanding, Chairman.
Yeah.
And nothing has been in there during that 3 years? It's all renovations?
There has been no business conducted other than the renovation of the building and the residential units above.
Now, you already entered into stipulations with the community board, from what I understand?
We have, my client has made its peace with CB2. There is overlap amongst the principals of the operating entity and the principals of the entity that owns the real property. So my client has an ongoing interest in seeing a determination made
Right.
in this case.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just trying to confirm that.
My client will honor the stipulations that it made with CB2.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to say yes. How do I go about? I approve this?
Yeah, that it's grandfathered in.
I approve grandfathering in.
So that, I approve as well that this has been continuously licensed, even though there has been a 2.5-year gap for renovations. But I'll still rule that it's been continually licensed for that period of time.
Thank you, Chairman. Commissioner.
All right, the next items are 2660 and 2661, XL Dance Bar LLC.
Good morning. My name is Matty Widerpass. I'm representing XL Dance Bar. XL Dance Bar is pleading a conditional no contest in all of these charges based on that we're currently in contract to sell the lease to a new entity, which is Cache Hotel Group. Cache Hotel Group has already applied for a liquor license for this location. They're going to be going before the community board next Tuesday. And they would like to get a temporary liquor license. In order for them to get the temporary, I need to clear up everything in the past.
So you're offering cancel and bond?
Correct.
Okay, I'll accept.
I'll accept.
Thank you.
Unless you
What did he
didn't
say?
make, no, just, you're not making a condition that the temporary, you're accepting so that they can get a temporary, it's just.
They still got to apply, yeah.
Still gotta apply,
And
but it's
there
not-
may be a gap of more than 30 days, so you won't be eligible for the
Has to
temporary.
be licensed within the past 30 days in order for a temporary to be considered.
Well,
Just-
so what,
Didn't
that
have to-
didn't come up. Do I need to?
He didn't ask. Anyway.
What can I do to make it so it is? He is about to ask, so.
All right, I'm just trying to see if
Well,
there's
it
any
depends, I
other
mean, the
things
cancellation's going to go into effect if the,
when they
if,
get to it, yeah.
right, if the license application isn't filed within 30 days of
So
that
are
cancellation.
is their license application ready to be filed?
The license is going to be filed next Tuesday when they go before the
No, but
community board.
No, it has to be filed with us. So the community board is part of the process, but that could take a couple months.
They have a hearing next Tuesday, and they can't file with you until they have
Right.
have that hearing. So
no, that's,
they have not filed yet. Right now, what I did was I voluntarily closed the operation. I turned in my liquor license before Thanksgiving for safekeeping, because I didn't want to operate anymore.
well, then that's a problem. You turn in,
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
We're trying to make it so your purchasers will be eligible to get a temporary license. Some of the stuff you've already done makes that difficult.
have they gave the community board notice of their application?
Correct.
Okay, when did they do that?
They did that over a month ago.
Right. And you filed just before Thanksgiving?
I turned in my liquor license for safekeeping.
Right, so you're not in business, you're not in operation right now. They need to file their application right away, within 30 days of you closing up your doors.
Right, so I don't want my liquor license canceled until they're.
It's not going to make a difference.
Because you put it in safekeeping.
Right? Right now, to get a temporary, you have to be open and operating within 30 days of them filing for their application.
Have to be open and operating.
Right. So if 30 days has gone by since they provide the community board with notice, they need to file before 30 days goes by that you're in safekeeping, right?
Yeah, there we go. Oh, it was on safekeeping 11/22.
So they have to file within 30 days of 11/22.
Yes.
Yeah. At least 30 days past filing with the community board, but within 30 days of you closing up business.
And so 11/22, when it's officially closed, and they have to file within 30 days of that.
Yes.
Right.
All right?
All right.
Thank you.
So you're good with the history? We'll okay an ST on, even with this history?
Well, I mean, that's going to come to the board anyway, because it's 500 foot, right?
The
That new license?
The application may, but the ST generally.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it. The temporary's fine.
Yeah.
Got it.
Make sure I kept my mouth shut. The next item is 2630, Novelty Beverage LLC.
Computer's slow as molasses today.
Morning,
That's
Chairman,
all right.
Commissioner. My name is Guy Parisi for the applicant. The sole principal of the applicant is also present. I submitted a letter to the Chairman and the Commissioners on Monday explaining the area that this application is being removed to. And I don't know that you want me to go through it again, or you have any questions.
Was there any opposition here?
Not, I don't see any present. There were 3 letters of opposition.
Yes, we did get opposition. But my question is, why is he moving? I know why, you explained why he's moving, but you didn't explain to me why he's moving so far. Why does he need to go 9 miles?
Mr. Chairman, I just actually moved to that area, Yonkers, about 5 minutes from the new store area, so closer to my house.
But you're moving further away from your existing customer base, aren't you?
He's
Yeah.
moving completely away from it.
Yeah. Well, it's sales have gone down there big time. The plaza's about almost 85% empty now, so at least it's up some. I was looking for a place a lot closer to my house. Thriving area where it's new construction and.
I mean, we literally put a store smack dab in this area in August. Are you aware of that? In fact, it really was closer to September. It was August 29th.
Where was that?
In Hastings on the Hudson.
That's
Yeah, but it's a mile away from him. I don't care. You know, I realize you're trying to argue that nobody from Yonkers goes to Hastings, but I disagree.
In addition to that, this is a new development. It's not going to really draw from there. It's not. Those are local stores. This is in a new complex, which has a residential component as well as a retail component. It's virtually a village within a village. It's called the Village of Stores. I've submitted all that information. It's projected 61,000 cars passing it a day. I've laid that out all out in my.
Yeah, we received it.
And all.
What's he going to do differently than the other nearby stores are doing?
I think one of the things we're going to do differently is really have more, about 15% more New York wines, and I think from my experience.
You're going to have 50% New York?
15, sorry, 15. And also going to do a lot more tastings. I think I learned from the business, and a lot more tastings and high-end wine, more small batch type of stuff as well. And just, we'll do deliveries as well in the area with the new condos and apartments being built there. They're all luxury apartments. It's more of a higher-end type of population that's going to be there. So we want to serve that and go a little bit differently than we have been doing currently.
And note the sales, stores, none of them have really decreased. They've all gone up. As a matter of fact, one of the closer ones has doubled in the last 4 years, the sales, Captain's.
What is in, it doesn't look like there's anything in the plaza you're going in that would even help.
Supermarket.
Would even help.
Supermarket.
Where?
Mrs. Green's. It's actually adjacent to this store. And if
I see, okay.
There's a stairway connecting the two stores. It virtually next door to it. And the figures that I have, the two Hastings stores, one is 2.3 miles and the other one's 3 miles.
Which stores are you talking about?
The two stores in Hastings?
No, the information I have is the one we just put there is 1 mile and the other one is 1.2.
We've checked it on Google. I can recheck it, but Hastings is not only down the Sawmill River Parkway, but it's west of the Sawmill River Parkway, the villages are. The villages are on Route 9, which runs parallel to the Sawmill River Parkway, and it's approximately a mile from the Sawmill River Parkway to Route 9 and you go through a residential area. And then for someone shopping in the supermarket, living in this complex and shopping in the supermarket to get in their car to go to another village would be inconvenient. This would.
When you filed to move before, where were you going to move then?
We were going to move to White Plains downtown, but it was dead. The area wasn't.
The reason for moving then was.
Also, there was a store very.
Empty.
There was a store that.
Now he's 90% empty where he's located.
Also, in the location in White Plains, there was a store on Post Road which was removed to Mamaroneck Avenue, which would have been closer to the location he was looking at before.
Is this correct? Just a second. Is that the right location? Is Matt coming up to the right location? Is that it? No.
That's it. Thank you. It's all about
Looked like you were putting a store in a neighborhood, a housing development zone.
How new is this plaza?
It's not even completed yet, right?
So it's brand new.
Brand new.
Indication, that's.
Okay.
The store is only 700 square feet.
It's got 25-foot ceilings, so we're going to use warehouse style hostile approach.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to vote to approve based on the size of the store. You said, 700, is that what you said? Not 700 square feet, limited to that. Looks like the other stores in the area, although there is one new license that was just issued that we really don't have a history of yet, but the other stores seem to be holding their own, so I'll vote to approve.
I'll vote to approve as well. You're going into a new shopping facility that I think there's an obvious, and appears to be a large facility that also includes residential housing, and I think there's a public convenience and advantage to putting another liquor store there, even though we did just open one at the end of August of this year, a mile away. But I'll vote to approve.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right, the next item is 2644 GWQ Roebling Food Corp.
Morning, Chairman and Commissioner. My name is Benjamin Corngut. I'm here for the applicant, GWK GWQ Roebling Food Corp. This is an application for a grocery beer license. I have with me today Gabriel Quezada, who is the principal, and his brother Miguel Quezada, who is a guarantor on a promissory note. This is a request for reconsideration. The application was disapproved on August 18th, and the temporary permit was canceled. So they've been operating for over 3 months without the ability to sell beer. The reasons for the disapproval were two. The first was that there was an individual that signed the contract of sale. They purchased the business in May, who was apparently not on the seller's liquor license. When my client entered into the transaction, they relied on representations in the contract about due authority to sign, and that the individual signing the contract were authorized to act on behalf of the seller corporation. This was an arm's length transaction. They had no knowledge of that Mr. Rodriguez was not on the license. And
Did they know any of these people, or did they just buy this?
it was an arm's length transaction, no prior relationship.
Okay, go ahead.
The second reason, I think, may stem from some confusion about the involvement of the principal's brother, Miguel Quezada. He served as a guarantor on a promissory note that was used to finance the transaction. He submitted a personal questionnaire which listed him as a guarantor. On the promissory note, in the notary acknowledgement, it contained boilerplate language which said he was a shareholder, an officer and director. We have submitted, to prove that Gabriel was the sole principal, copy of the corporate minutes of the corporation, an affidavit from Miguel saying that he has no involvement other than being a guarantor, an affidavit from the notary, who's also the credit officer of the bank, who extended the loan, basically explaining that it was just boilerplate language that was never changed. Document submitted to the IRS, which lists Gabriel as the sole principal, and a copy of the food stamp license, which shows Gabriel as the sole principal. So I think some of the confusion stems from just basically...
Jackie, has this been cleared up to your?
Yeah, it should be okay.
Okay. Okay.
And the
Just
fact
like
it's old.
he did submit a personal questionnaire, so there, and Miguel is on other licenses, so there was no reason for him not to be on as a principal if he was.
All right. Shall we move?
Yep.
Yeah.
District turn.
I vote to grant reconsideration.
I'll vote to grant reconsideration as well, and it goes back to licensing.
Thank you.
All right, the next item, or items, 2613, 2614, Trends Cultural Club, Inc.
Okay.
All right, we'll hold that for a second. The next item then is 2647, Value Wine and Liquor, Inc.
Thank you for listening to our case. Yosri, did you want to go first? This is my husband, Yosri Ahmed, and my name is Julie Moran.
Yeah. I wasn't able to attend last time.
I can't hear you.
I wasn't able to attend last time.
Okay.
And thank you for allowing us to present our case. First, originally, our goal was establish an organic and local wine club online. So when I called to find out how can I go about that, I was told I have to have a storefront. I can't just go ahead and get a license, sell liquor and wine online. So therefore, I looked for a place, which we found this 1,200 square feet store that's right next to the only organic grocery store in the county of Orange. All right, so I thought that would be great for us because we're looking basically to be mainly focusing on organic and local wines. So it was very convenient, like I figured that would be great. So
Why not, if that's your goal, why didn't you just apply for a wine license?
I didn't know that. I didn't know I can do that.
No,
Or-
we wanted to, in our storefront, include liquor as well. It's just originally, our original idea was to have a wine club online. And so therefore, we found out we needed a storefront, and then we added the, to open it up to liquor as well.
Also been that we're already gonna rent a store to do that, so.
But see, a lot of the businesses
convenient.
in here and want to do a wine club, you do have to have a storefront, but it doesn't have to be 1,200 square feet. I mean, the problem we had with your application, or that I had with your application, was there's a number of other stores nearby,
Okay,
and many of them are big,
okay, my approach.
and their sales aren't indicating a need for another store.
Okay, may I approach your?
Yes.
Just show you something that I have here. Here's a map of the area. You said that you're familiar with Newburgh. The stores, these three stores are located within half a mile from each other and way far from me. In order for anybody to come from their locations to my location, it will take them at least 10 minutes by car to get to my location. The only one who's objecting really the whole thing, and he's basically trying to get everybody behind him, is Big V, which they have 6,400 square feet.
Yeah, but
he's 1,200 square feet, but that includes the bathrooms.
No, I understand that,
includes
but
the storage. I'm only going to have about like 600 square feet for the show.
But he's at 1.2 miles away from you, and his sales, and he is large. He's 6,400 square feet, but his sales at best they're down to almost 200,000 over.
That might be because of other variables. I don't know.
No, but it could be, but we don't just look at his store, we look at the other nearby stores, and most of the other nearby stores are either decreasing or flat sales. There's not an increase in the sales.
But if you look like to one of the big stores like Big V, which is Mid-Valley Mall, Wine and Liquor, their sales increased due to the fact that they actually.
His sales didn't increase.
No, it increased. I said Mid-Valley Mall.
You're talking about Big Value Wine and Liquors?
Not Big Valley.
No, a competitor in Newburgh.
In Newburgh also, which has like a bigger, like almost big as of a place like this place. His sales increased due to the fact that his prices are lower. So when people want to get quantity, they go to Mid-Valley. They do not go to Big V because his prices are higher. So his decrease is because the way he conducted his business.
I understand that, but what we're looking at is there a public convenience and advantage to adding another store? And based on the numbers that we've seen here, plus the method of operation that you've presented to us, not to mention that your local officials are telling us, no, they don't need another one, then it's very hard for me to see what the public convenience and advantage is.
My local official, which actually.
No, it's not one, it's a couple.
Yeah, I know. Well, Senator Larkin, all right, first one. And I believe the owners of Big V basically did this intentionally. He one of the top donators to his campaign.
I think that there might be some political motivation.
So there is a political motivation. That's from his.
But that's not the sole reason we take everything into account. And everything that I've mentioned so far goes against the need for another liquor store here.
May I just make a few points, sir? First of all, I found online with using the zip code 12553, which is New Windsor, New York, population increase of 4%. That's countering the every 10-year census. That's from 2014. Also, in the immediate area of that plaza, it has many, many residential homes and developments. That plaza at one time during the 1990s and early 2000, that plaza didn't have many stores at all. And now we see that plaza constantly having many, many customers due to the fact of the grocery store opening up and being, unique to that area. And, those are the points that I wanted to make. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. You have any further questions?
No.
Yeah. I don't see anything that's really convinced me to change my mind from before, so I'm going to vote to deny reconsideration.
But before you just do that, can we be restricted to online sales?
You'd have to reapply.
Yeah.
And I would suggest you go to further away from the other liquor stores, and probably, if you want to limit yourself to wines, you'd probably definitely have a better chance. But
But sir, away when I have the only organic grocery store in town. The other stores do not have anything. They don't have the.
well, if you're going to limit yourself, I mean, you'd have to reapply, and I'm not, I can't tell you not to reapply. So
Don't have the variety.
we're not discussing that now. I'm going to vote to deny this as well, this reconsideration. The sales of the surrounding liquor stores don't indicate that there is a need for another liquor store. And as I pointed out, the local assemblyman and the local senator have both asked not to put another liquor store in this area. So I'm going to vote to deny. Thank you.
The next item is 2626 Nikkei Lounge, Inc.
Good morning, Chairman Bradley and Commissioner Ford, executive staff of the authority. The matter before you, proposed premises, Nikkei Lounge, is a large.
Could you just note your appearance, please?
Oh, thank you. Yes, Adam Powell, and I'm here with the principal, Ann Noreen. Ms. Noreen actually has another establishment which went through a similar situation a couple of years ago. It's called Spice Restaurant, and 2 years ago, the community board asked for her to close at 1 a.m., stipulated she did not agree, came before you asking for a 4 a.m., and receive a 3 a.m. for that other location.
Did that other location have the history that this one does? The negative history? I mean, this one we canceled. And we just
That was
canceled,
under
we just
previous
canceled it in June.
Under the previous ownership, yeah.
Right, but
Ms. Noreen, yeah, the other location did have some issues as well, right? So Ms.
do
Noreen
we have
has
any
had-
complaints? Can you look up to see if we have anything on Spice Catering going on? Go ahead, sir.
To my knowledge, there is none, no incidents, no complaints, so here we are. The model here is a large venue of 7,000 square feet, 2 floors. It will require $25,000 per week payroll for 34 employees, sometimes holding 2 events in one night, and that is why she respectfully requests for a 4 a.m. closing time. She has a great security plan in place. Mass Security Associates is licensed, bonded, and insured. It's a very reputable company with offices in New York, New Jersey, Florida. In New York alone, they have over 30 locations, in addition to which Ms. Noreen has contracted with a parking lot and will offer free.
How far away is the
valet
parking lot?
How far away?
That's 5 blocks away.
But there will be free valet parking though.
I'm paying the valet company.
And she has,
Paying for the parking lot, $1,000.
And your other place is, you,
Spice Catering.
and is it a catering establishment or a restaurant?
It's a restaurant and
I mean, now you're opening a nightclub. Well, you want live music, DJ, karaoke, that to me is a nightclub.
it's a restaurant that will.
7,000 square feet.
It's a supper club for 2 floors. It will have 2 events and, on occasion, say a birthday party between 6 and 10. Then the place will be cleaned up and will reopen around 10:30.
So it's not going to be open every day? It's only going to be open for special events?
No. I'm just saying there will be times that there will be two different type of events.
Well, there's 3 different areas. That's what I think he's trying to say.
You have anything?
Upstairs will
Yeah.
be, I'm trying to do something more like Tao Restaurant.
That was a nightclub.
Well, oh, okay. Well, not a nightclub. It's a lounge restaurant. And it's upstairs can carry about 200 people. And downstairs, I think, can carry about 250. But I didn't get the estimated yet of what. We're just averaging. And then there's an outside. But the whole building is fully secured. It's, there's no music that you can hear from the outside. It's soundproof. I'm not trying to open a nightclub. That's just not who I
But
am.
you did notice on your application, you wrote bar tavern. There's no reference to a restaurant whatsoever. You said for the type of establishment, it does say bar
And
tavern.
that's why I'm calling it a nightclub, because a bar and tavern that's 7,000 square feet that wants all of that music is a nightclub.
Karaoke, DJ, recorded live. Yeah, it's got it all.
It's just recorded music, maybe jazz, you know.
I
it's
didn't,
not-
with all due respect, I did not do this application. I'm just here for the hearing. But I have been to the establishment. There are plenty of tables and chairs ready to open and operate as a restaurant. Again,
So-
the early hours, and then sometime around 11-ish, 11:30, yes, there will be a little more of a club atmosphere.
What,
By the way, there's
what's
some
the-
local support from
Yeah.
the State Senator James Sanders, his representative.
What's,
He's here with us.
I know.
what's the,
Trying to get
what's the
through
name
my
of your
phone.
other restaurant?
Spice Restaurant.
and Lounge.
And what, does the awning say something different? Like,
DBA is East now. I just didn't change it over. The
did you file anything with us? Do we have anything filed on that?
Getting there. System is a little on the slow side.
Because we
today.
do have a complaint about your other location. That, what was the name of the?
Ugh,
Locust Grove?
we're going to shit you
So
out.
there's
100-05
Atlantic
Avenue.
Avenue, Richmond Hill.
Commissioners, if I may, Ms. Noreen is supported by many organizations in the community, including the Jamaica Center Business Improvement.
I know, but the one organization I tend to listen to because they take great interest in these things is the community board. And
But on that note.
And my concern here, and I'm not, I'm telling you it's a concern, is that she's coming in here telling us she's opening a restaurant, but she has occupancy maximum for 325 people, but yet she can only seat 100. That's not a restaurant.
Well, like I said, it will.
I mean,
be a
if you
no,
come
no,
in
no,
and you're going to
you
open a
do have
club, then
point.
tell me you're opening a club.
It will be a club, sort of like a lounge after a certain hour, but it will be a restaurant between 6 and 10, 6 and 11, fully as a restaurant. And on that point of the community board, I understand, but the community boards, and personally as a former city council member, I used to appoint some of these members. They cannot set policy.
No, and
Unfortunately,
it's
in
not,
some-
if this was a 500-foot case, she wouldn't be getting this.
Right, but in some community boards, they are trying to set policy. This community board has done a 1 a.m. across the board to everybody within the last year.
Well, I don't allow that
Yeah.
to happen, but when I am faced with a location that has a negative history like this one does, which is really serious,
Yeah. That was
we
one of the
tend to listen to them, we take it a case-by-case basis, but this information as to why we canceled this is pretty bad. And I'm not saying that, I get that it's not her, but frequently when these locations are bad, they remain bad.
They did not have, and they did not have the type of security plan that Ms. Noreen has in place.
Everything
Very
they've
thorough.
asked for, I've changed. From what I understand from the previous owners, from what I've heard, they have their problems, they had parking issues. I'm paying $1,000 for a parking lot.
And free valet.
And the valet company, I have 3 valet people who's going to be parking the cars at the lot, which can carry 60 cars. I've looked at every single item possible. I'm a minority business owner. I saved all my money from Spice to open this place. I've invested, my rent is $13,500. I've invested so much in this place already. I'm just really asking you to give me a chance.
And I dare say the type of clientele that will come now that Ms. Noreen is the owner will be far different. It'll be a very mature clientele.
What
hours, yeah.
What hours are you looking for every night of the week?
I'm looking for
We're looking for
4
4
a.m.
a.m.
because it's a large space. And it is a lounge. I'm not going to deny it's not a lounge, but it's part restaurant also. So I'm looking for, because, you know, my current location is 80 people. And, you know, I can't really keep like private parties or anything. It's all open up one place.
The prior location was listed as a restaurant, and you restricted the hours to 1 a.m. with everyone out at 1:30.
What, the place that we closed?
The place that we
And they
closed.
still got shut.
That was on the previous ownership again. And Ms. Noreen was here last month to pick up the license, and when she saw
See,
it was 1 a.m., she
it's-
couldn't pick it up.
I understand that, but here's what I see happen in these places, and you just mentioned how much you have invested in this. You just mentioned what your monthly expenses are. And because of that, you see them start breaking the law or start not doing what they say they're going to do. I realize she wants to have birthday parties. Well, the next thing she's having is promoters come in. And because she needs to hit that number in order to pay all our expenses. And that's what happened to the last guy. Because we did restrict him. He told us he was a restaurant. We restricted him to 1 o'clock, everybody out by 1:30. And all of a sudden, we got noise complaints. We got underage drinking. We got disorderly premises. We got, you know, he came in and gave me the same story you're giving
Did
me.
he have a security plan in place? That makes a big difference.
I mean,
And the clientele.
You could look at my reputation too. I mean, that's a different person. You can't judge everybody the same. And I definitely.
I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that these locations are problematic, and you're asking for the world.
There are many locations around her open until 4 a.m., by the way. They don't have any.
No, I'm less concerned about the 4 a.m. than I am about the recorded DJ karaoke and live music with 300 people inside.
Compromise on
Can
that?
I compromise on that, please, sir? I'm willing to compromise with you with anything because
Well, I don't know. Where are you on this?
Can't do 1 a.m., I'll be honest.
I wouldn't accept the 1 a.m. just because of what the previous owner did, and I know that it's not going to work. And 2 or 3 extra hours, it's at 100 people in there selling. I mean, I looked at their numbers that they were making before I got into this. They were doing between 18 to 25,000 between 9 p.m. in sales, liquor sales, to 1 a.m. And I'm thinking that could work for me if I get 2 extra hours or something. And they were opening at, I think they said at 6, I'm not too sure. But I'll be opening all day because I'm planning to do Sunday brunch, do everything.
So you're saying you want to be open till 4 o'clock on Monday night, Tuesday
No,
night?
I'm not saying that. I'm willing to compromise with you, Mr.
Listen,
Ford,
her,
anything that you
in
want
her
to do.
current license in the other location has a 3 a.m. provision. She closes that one at 2 a.m. So she's not looking to push it until the last minute. It's just the opportunity to do so in certain nights.
Definitely
And again,
the weekends.
and again, we have a representative from Senator James Sanders' office, if you want to hear from him.
No, that's fine. I mean, unless he
We have letters-
does.
We have letters from Senator Sanders, Senator Kevin Parker.
Yeah, I would like to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
Make it quick.
Greetings. Thank you for the opportunity. I just wanted to say that Ms. Noreen has been...
State what your name is, please.
My name is Kevin John Baptiste, representative from State Senator James Sanders Jr.'s office. And I just wanted to state that Ms. Noreen has been very influential in the community. She's been helping with our community events and helping us get the message across to the community. So
What message?
The enhancing community, and especially with community economic development. We host many events throughout the community. She has been one of our prime sponsors in many of these events. And we just...
Doesn't Senator Sanders put people on the community board? Doesn't he make some of the appointments or no?
No, the council member does. And we fully recommend her before the State Liquor Authority.
All right. Thank you.
So, I mean, we respectfully request 4 a.m., but if we can't, at least can we split the baby, so to speak? It's really, 1 a.m. won't work for her.
Yeah, I don't see that you need 4 a.m. every night of the week.
No, I agree with that. That's just the.
Oh, I'm not going to give 4 AM any night of the week. So when you're putting your hours together, work that out.
We get 3 a.m.
We get 3 a.m., please. I have 3 a.m.
I mean, you can come back and ask for 4 AM from me after you've been in business for a little while, but I'm not going to give you 4 AM right now. I don't know. I'm still contemplating the other part.
Yeah. They told me that when I was here for Spice, in 6 months, the lady told me come back in January and apply for the, because I'm a minority and I'm first business owner. She wasn't too keen on, she wanted to see what I can do. And I never came back because it's a small space.
It was approved at the full board with conditions, cease sales at 3 AM, no live music, no DJs, they'll provide security, and they gave them leave to come back to extend the hours if they chose to do so. That was
And she's saying she doesn't want to, so that's fine. Okay, go ahead.
All right, I'm willing to approve a 3 a.m. on, let's say, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday too? I'll give it a shot.
Sunday night into Monday, you want to be open until 3 AM?
We're going to close on Monday, and it's an indoor place. You can't hear music outside. It's soundproof.
All
I
right.
approve of that.
And you're closed
Did
on
you
Monday.
soundproof it? Because some of the complaints we got from the last place are noise complaints.
No, I don't know. Maybe because they had outside. I'm not doing anything outside. I'm not applying. That's part of 2,000 square feet is outside.
Okay.
They were keeping parties outside.
It has a
I'm not
backyard,
doing
but
that.
she's not doing that.
Okay. All right. Go
All right.
continue.
All right, so Monday closed. Is that what you said? So Monday's closed. Let's say Tuesday and Wednesday till 1. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday till 3.
I really respect you, and I thank you.
Well,
Take it
it's
and
not
then-
okay yet.
Done yet.
Come back.
So I'll approve those hours, but no live music. Can you live with that?
Well, can I ask you?
Or no DJ, one or the other. Take one or the other away.
Recorded music, DJ music?
No.
No, recorded music is recorded music. A DJ is someone that comes in and, does it all for you.
And gets the crowd pumped.
So either live music goes or the DJ goes. Which one? You want the DJ?
Live music. You'll keep live music, okay.
Okay. And no use of promoters, ever? And you are, you say you have a licensed security company that you're with?
Mass.
Mass
Yes.
security.
Yeah, we can
They're
give
all
you
over,
the,
they're nationwide.
All right, I'll approve based on the hours of Commissioner Ford stated, and then no DJ and
Put it in the file.
no DJ, no promoters, and that they're to have a licensed security company working with them. Good luck.
Commissioner, you're okay with those
Yes.
additions?
thank you. All right.
Thank you. Good luck. A lot of business to do.
All right, the next item is 2654, 30th Avenue Liquor and Wine Incorporated.
Good morning. My name is Neil Trivedi. I'm for the applicant, 30th Avenue Liquor and Wine. This is a
So here's your problem. And I don't know if you were here for it or not. We just granted a license very, very close to this location about an hour ago. And the reason we dealt with that one first is because they were filed 3 days before your clients. So before I waste your time and ours, there's no way I'm going to put another one in there right now.
Where was the other location?
What's the other location?
3716 Astoria Boulevard. This was just down the street from a license that had surrendered back in April.
Right.
If you remember that one, yeah.
That's the one, yes. All right.
Yeah.
And they have some of the closest stores that you have on your application, you share with them.
So the Astoria store probably is on the north side of where we are proposing.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna, I mean, I'm just not gonna put another one in there today. I can't imagine that there's a public convenience and advantage to adding two. After we see what their sales numbers end up being over a little time, then possibly, but not right now. So I'm gonna vote to deny.
Vote to deny as well, same grounds. All right.
All right, the next item is 2646 Vic and Bree Grocery and Deli Corp.
Maybe in Hempstead.
Morning, Commissioner, Chairman.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I sat down with the mayor on Friday.
Okay, and I just need to know, what are your hours gonna be?
Yeah, they're gonna close Sunday to Thursday by 10:30, and Friday and Sunday at 11.
And what'd the mayor say, he's fine?
Yes.
And recorded music, no dancing?
It's no, there's no recorded music and no dancing.
They're open now, right? They're just not selling?
No, we're waiting for the closing.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So we need to waive the two restroom rule here, Tom?
Hey.
Or Jackie, I mean?
Yeah, let's get that.
The seller's not gonna have anything to do with this, right?
No, he's actually,
He's holding a mortgage on it, though?
he owns the building, and he's the one that's in the business right now. So the Estevez, the principal, is the owner of the building as well.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have any problem, no protest.
All right, I'll waive the two restroom rule, and since you've met with the mayor and the hours seem reasonable, I'll approve as well.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
The next item is 2643 231 El Valley Seafood Corporation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hector Serrato, and I represent the applicant, and I'm here to answer whatever questions you may have. I hope to be able to answer them.
Where is your client?
Is working.
Where?
She's working at the, she has another place that she owns.
What's the name of that?
It's not licensed. It's not a licensed place.
I mean, we generally like to talk to the applicants, so I know what I'm getting into as well as they know what they're getting into. And you have some,
We don't have any other employment listed for her.
If you would like, we could postpone it and I have her here next time.
that you're probably going to need to do, and you're probably going to need to be able to answer the question she just asked you too.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
is, you don't have any other employment listed for her.
Okay, then,
Is there a reason for that?
No, I didn't fill out the application myself, so I am not sure. But I can have her here next time, if you could give us a postponement.
34th Precinct has requested a meeting. Has that happened?
We met, yes. They met with the precinct.
All right, I'm going to want to, yeah, we're going to want to talk to her, so you're going to have to put this.
December 20th?
Yes.
December 20th?
December 20th, yeah.
Could you make it a little bit later, because I think I'm going to be away on the 20th? Please.
Be January 4th?
That would be better.
1-4.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, the next item is 2579 Joseph Victory Wines Incorporated.
Chairman, Commissioners, members of the board, Adina Santiago from Bachman Law Firm on behalf of Joseph Victory Wines and my client with me. I'm here to discuss a proposed settlement. proposed a penalty of $100,000 and a suspension of no more than 30 days to begin on January 1st, 2017, with the right to continue posting prices during the suspension period.
So I have a couple questions, because the indication that we get from your letter, at least the implication I'm getting from your letter, is that this was all a big mistake on his part. I don't understand how it could be a mistake to fail to comply with the COD list. That to me seems pretty straightforward.
I think essentially they just weren't aware of what the exact requirements were and failed to ask the questions, but have now reviewed it. And we had a compliance seminar last year, and we've had continued conversations about things they needed to do in order to get into compliance.
And then the same thing with the price posting. And
So I'll let my client just verify, but I think that was mostly a mistake as to the discounting. They weren't posting their discounts correctly, and now they've realized what they were doing wrong and they but they have corrected that mistake.
Okay. Well, yeah, can he explain it to me then?
We were not posting correctly. We weren't aware of the exact law. That was our mistake. And, on both of those events, both of the COD list and the price posting, we weren't exactly sure of the law. We had the check, but it wasn't deposited. So we were collecting the check, but it wasn't deposited the same day at some times. So that was the problem.
But wasn't it that you were actually giving credit to, so you're saying the credit you were giving was that you weren't depositing the check on the same day you received it?
Correct. That the check, that the salesman, we weren't watching the salespeople, and now we are watching the salespeople. We do not ship goods until the money is in the bank.
Okay.
That's the problem.
All right.
And
you're working with the law firm to make sure you comply with all this?
we've had seminars. We've been over there several times to review how we're doing it correctly. Now we're in compliance 100%. We do not ship goods unless the money is in the bank.
Okay.
And that was the problem.
All right.
And I do apologize, and I will value my license after this.
Yeah. No other adverse history. I vote to accept.
So I'll vote to approve or accept as well. It's $100,000 plus a 30-day suspension to be imposed for the month of January 2017. They will be permitted to price post and accept payments from retailers and report retailers who are delinquent and engaged in unauthorized out-of-state activities. Did I hit everything, or?
Oh, the out-of-state activities, they have licenses elsewhere.
Oh, engage in authorized out-of-state activities. Right, okay.
Continue sales outside of New York during this. But they'll make it clear to their customers that they're not making any New York sales during that time.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Take care.
The next item is 2640, Park Terrace Cafe Corp.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Ariel Ferreira, representative. I also have Chor
Brathwaite.
principal of the establishment.
So I'm assuming you're aware, since you took the same name, that we canceled the previous license?
Not the same, we changed it. It's not the same name, it's not the same owner, it's not the same.
What was the name of the previous one?
It was Cavala Cafe.
Okay.
Actually, that was a Casite panel, Chairman. We had various residents testify at the hearing.
Were they a full liquor or what, or restaurant wine?
They were a full liquor.
Restaurant wine, and then they upgraded to full liquor.
Oh, yeah, they were a full liquor.
I mean, so my concern here is you look like you're going to do everything they were doing as far as your method of operation, and that clearly didn't work for them.
Definitely different. What I did differently, I met with the community, and they had suggestions.
What are the suggestions they had?
So the suggestions that they wanted us were, one, first of all, to restaurant wine. They didn't want us to, they wanted us to close at midnight during the week. So we agreed to close at midnight, Monday through Thursday. Sunday through Thursday. Friday and Saturday, we were looking at a 1 or 2 a.m. But even if we were willing to close at midnight on Friday and Saturday, no DJ, no hookah. It's a full service restaurant.
So why are they so against you still?
Because of the checkered history of the location and the past.
So let me clear about this. You are or not using the same name?
It's a different corporation, different name. We submitted some sales agreement because we purchased the place. We have our new lease as well, which we also submitted, but it's not.
Did you put the sign up, Cuevas, or was that sign already there when you entered into negotiations?
We put that up. It's been closed for about, around 9 months.
And you had nothing to do with the other place?
No.
And you want live music? What kind of music is it going to be?
No, it's just like a light jazz, maybe like a saxophone player or acoustic guitar. And that would be between the hours of like 7 and 10. Wouldn't be anything late.
So you could say live music would be done by 10?
Yeah, it would be done 10 o'clock. Because we'll be closing the restaurant at 12, at midnight.
And what they say, it's Monday through Thursday till close at 12, and then Friday, Saturday, when?
You said Sunday through Thursday, you said?
Monday through Thursday at midnight.
Midnight.
And Friday, Saturday, when?
We spoke about 2, but like 1 or 2 o'clock we're fine with.
Why don't we start with 1?
That's fine with us. We have no problem with that.
Live music done by 10.
How'd you find this place?
Actually, my company was doing a holiday party there, and I took my staff over there. Thought it was small, and I was looking for a business, so.
What is your company? Cayuga Centers? What is that?
We run a federally funded foster care agency.
Okay.
Am I reading it that the community board does not object?
Right here.
No, they sent a letter saying they were wrong.
Okay. I was about to say, all right.
They do object. Yeah, that was a typo.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, grant.
Well, I'm willing to vote to approve, give you an opportunity to maybe do a better job here. The place has been closed for 9 months.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good fumigation period to get rid of that kind of a clientele. And you're just applying for, is it just wine?
Beer and wine.
Beer and wine, okay.
That was also the agreement with the community.
All right, beer and wine, midnight, Sunday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday, 1 a.m., and then live music, any live music. By live music, we mean jazz trios. We don't mean any 50 cent promotion, okay? Done by 10.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll approve on those grounds as well. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, the next item is, or are 2574, 2583. It's Review Entertainment Incorporated.
Good morning, my name is Frank Palillo. Been offered before you. Be happy to answer any questions you have.
What has he done to stop this? Because it is obviously completely out of hand.
Are you ready?
I explained in the submission that I made to the, as part of my offer in compromise, Ozuma was not able to devote his full time to the premises when he purchased the shares of stock. And that's exactly when these occurrences took place, from February to February to June, basically, an 18-month period. So we've since, at this point, Azuma is full-time at the premises. He has been for the last, I think, almost 8 months at this point. There's been no violations, there have been no concerns, and he accepts full responsibility. The dancers were the people who were apparently selling the drugs. It was not any of our employees.
Well, who's the individual that she calls the house dealer? Is that?
That's not one of our employees.
Well, he was a customer? What was he?
No.
Yes.
Well, he was in the bar, so he had to be something.
Oh, no, he was a customer, sir. He doesn't. He never worked at any time for me, sir, or the corporation.
I assume he's banned.
Yes, sir. Oh,
I think they collared him, I'm assuming.
Yes, they did.
How are you working with Mr. Conway currently?
I understand the question. They're partners. They're both.
How's your relationship with Mr. Conway currently?
It's good. It's good. It's getting better. Like I said, when I like my lawyer said, initially when I bought it, it was an investment property, and I did look at it, but I wasn't able to devote my time because I knew I had a couple of upcoming deployments, and so when my deployment was done, and I was made aware of all of this, and then I'm fully out now, and I'm just on a reserve status, so I'm there 1 or 2 days a month with that, and that's only when I'm called as I'm an officer and I run a unit. But we're better now. We're developing processes, and we're talking a lot more to make sure that there's any hiccups that I see. With my secretary.
You returned from deployment end of June. How long were you gone?
I was gone for a little bit, give and take, plus or minus a year, because I moved to different units. I visited other units. I'm a unit.
Is Mr. Conway there daily as well?
Yes. Yeah.
So he was there when this all went on?
To be honest,
If I can explain. Okay. Azuma purchased the shares of stock from, I think, Anthony Pawsey was the original stockholder. To a certain extent, Mr. Conway has inherited Azuma, so their relationship did not begin well, and Mr. Conway stayed away from the premises for a certain period of time as a result of this transaction, which he was powerless to stop. The fellow sold the shares of stock. In the last 6 months or so, or 4 months, I would say.
Yeah, but he sold the stock to him, but it seems like he ended up getting more, so Mr. Conway must have sold him some stock.
No.
He's got 60, it says here that Antonio Causi would.
Handle that. I'm sorry.
Oh, but I'm right?
Yes, you are, sir.
Yeah, so Mr. Conway sold him some stock. So was he managing the place while you were gone?
Yes.
Not particularly well.
Obviously.
Yeah. Understatement there.
I mean, so you're going to be there every day, but what are you doing to make sure this doesn't continue?
Well, I got a new security team, and I fired everybody. I got a whole new team with bonded insurance, and I make sure every day I got a security roster, make sure there's always roving around, and they go through 3 levels of inspection every guest that comes in, and it's a 0 tolerance, no ID or any contraband, we kick them out, and there's a sign posted that if we find any contraband and there's a need for to be prosecuted, we will cooperate with the authorities and give them whatever video that needs be to make sure we cooperate with full extent of the law. So I have a 0 tolerance with that.
And of course, they're required to under the terms of the nuisance abatement.
All right. I vote to accept your offer, $15,000 and 15-day suspension.
Oh, this is your case. Oh. I'll accept as well. Good luck.
Thank you.
And thank you
Mr.
for your
Pruitt, you have
service.
one more item? You have one more, right. 2575, 25B Group, Rest Avenue, LLC.
Very, kind of flows very nicely, that one. It's an often compromise on a late renewal.
Yeah,
What?
They thought the renewal was an advertisement?
Yeah. No, a lot of people do.
Advertisement for what? What are we advertising?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Come get your liquor license?
Chairman, it's the Geico ad on the back of the notice that's.
Oh, there's a Geico ad?
I'm kidding.
It looks just like this when it comes in the mail. It's one page folded in thirds.
Let me see it.
This isn't it.
Oh, okay. Well, what would make you think it's an advertisement?
Advisory is a
Oh, it's not
one-page-
an envelope, you're
It's not an
saying?
envelope, it's a one-page folded in threes. People don't know what it is.
All right, I'll accept, well, they know that their,
like
they should know that their
renewal
liquor
advisory throws you
license
off.
is coming up. I mean, we shouldn't have to do it. That's
They
my,
don't.
I know.
Don't. They look at me and they say, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, I shouldn't have to do it.
Well, you're getting paid for it at least. Why am I doing it?
Really enough.
Not nearly enough. I'll accept. I'm sure you're doing fine.
Thank you, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Next item is 2563 El Cerrito del Carmen Restaurant. It's a default, but Mr. Allenwick is here.
I noticed this on the calendar last night. It was a pleading for October 26th. I faxed in the response on October 14th. I had the fax confirmation with.
You don't want to just get rid of this? It's a sign.
Good point. How much?
$100 is what you're limited to.
Yeah, I'd give you $100.
That's fine, yeah.
All right.
I'm going to be looking at it.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
The next item is 2641 Aris Deli Grocery Corp.
Good afternoon, Chairman Bradley, Commissioner Fort, Louis Malave here, representative, and Mr. Al-Magali is not here today because he had to go to Yemen. There's a war going on in Yemen, and his family's in danger, and he's making arrangements to bring his family to the States. And I'm here now to respond to any questions.
Well, how long is he in Yemen? Because I need to talk to him.
Well,
Because, and the reason I say that is this was clean, I'd just allow it, but he was a worker for the guy that we previously rejected. So there's certain questions he needs to answer, and that you're not going to be able to answer.
well, that's true, I won't be able to answer them. But
So how long?
I'd have no idea how long it's gonna take him to be back. Unless you're gonna kick the can along.
Well, I can either reject it and you can apply again, or we can put it over a month. Do you think he's gone a month?
Well, are we talking about sometime in February? I'll try to communicate with his family to see if he can come as soon as possible.
I mean,
But again, there's a war going on there and a
I'm
lot of bodies and dead
aware of
people.
that, but I can't just hand out licenses because is a month a problem?
A month would be either the January 4th.
Is this guy
or-
licensed right now? Is he licensed, Jackie, right now somewhere?
I don't think so. Yeah, matter of fact, he is. Kasim Food Market.
That's
Just
correct.
got the license in July.
Does he have any issues?
I don't think so on that one. Let me just find him. Come on, open up. Got it.
He has nothing to do with the prior licensee?
Beg pardon?
I said, I notes here, anything to do with the prior
He
licensee?
worked at Charlie Deli Grocery, the previous applicant.
Charlie Deli Grove?
Copy, yeah.
Is that for the same location? For this location?
Yes. Well, he worked at this, oh wait, hold on, I don't know, actually.
Yeah, because
This premise has a bad history, not very bad, but somewhat bad, and then,
well, in the spirit of the holidays, maybe we should give him an opportunity.
I'm not saying I won't, but there's questions here that you're not going to be able to answer.
Well, would you want to try me?
What's
Well, the guy, this,
Second date in January.
The 19th.
If we put this over to the 19th, want to give that a shot? January 19th?
I mean, the problem is that this premise was applied for previously. We rejected it. He works for that guy. He had worked at that location at that time. So you understand where I'm going with this?
Are we talking about the same location?
Yeah, 1753 Amsterdam Avenue. It was called the Charlie Deli
1753.
No, not Charlie Deli, I'm sorry. It was called David and Mo Deli Grocery.
Well, after David and, what was it, David and Deli Mo? Were there any other licenses there after that?
We're going to have to put this over. What's the date, Tom?
January 19th.
119.
And there's no way,
He's not going to get it unless he comes in and asks a question. So, I mean, if he's not back by then, come back in and we'll put it over again. But I'm not going to, that's the other issue. I don't know that, I realize there's stuff going on in Yemen and he's trying to bring his family back, but I don't know that he should be leaving a liquor license and going to the Middle East either.
well,
He's
I
currently
think
doing with
family
one grocery
ties-
store.
Right. He's already doing that with a license he has, which is a concern. So come back on 119 and we'll,
And what the chairman has raised is that because he was an employee of Charlie.
David and Mo Deli.
Which one?
David and Mo Deli.
David and
But he's going to have to answer the questions, not you.
Okay, so we want to have him here present before you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. You have a lovely holiday.
Thank you, you too.
And I
You too.
appreciate you very much.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yes.
What was that, January?
19th.
19th?
We have one more item that's been signed in.
All right, let's do that.
It was the one we called before, it's 2613, 2614, Trends Cultural Club.
I apologize for the hour. I was engaged in housing court.
That's all right.
My name is, for my appearance, Alan Levin, 26 Court Street, Suite 1907, Brooklyn, New York, for the respondent, Trends Lounge.
All right.
8906 Titmus Avenue.
All right, we're going to dismiss charge 1 in the first proceeding, dismiss charge 1 in the second proceeding, dismiss charge 7 in the second proceeding, and sustain all other charges.
Look, the point I would say is that many of the conditions which complained of were inherited from a prior owner, which had nothing to do with my client.
What do you mean?
In other words, by the way, they didn't have at least either counsel when they bought the business from a prior and they simply continue the practice which were done before. They should not have your right. But the question here is, by the way, to what extent is a death penalty for this appropriate for this for the respondent? My point is relatively newly in business. Again, there may be some penalties attached here, but they should not be the maximum. Some of them, for example.
So, I mean, you're trying to tell me that because the previous owner didn't have licensed security guards.
No, we did have licensed security guards here. The question was that they may not have properly signed in the security sign sheet. We did show at the hearing the sign sheet they had for licensed security.
But I'm trying to understand your argument. One of your argument is that they bought it from somebody and that person was allowing the security guards not to sign in, so they thought they could. Well, can I finish?
Sure.
They were allowing dancing to go on within the premises, so they figured they could. Is that the argument you're making?
The issue with the dancing, as I'm referring to, the issue with the security.
A little confused on the new owners. I've had no change in ownership in this since 2009.
But
No
what I'm saying is
principals?
prior to 2009, I'm referring to.
So they were in business. So you're saying they're in business for 7 years, and they still don't know what the law is?
They did not know what the law was. That's correct. Should they've had a lawyer telling them? That's a answer is yes. I got in here involved in this matter very, very late.
Okay.
Now, I'd also say this, by the way, the issue I was referring with the dancing issue, the issue regarding security, by the way, they did attempt to have a security guard sign in. What happened here was a one-time lapse. I did show at the hearing, by the way, the security book indicating they did normally have security guards sign in.
I mean, the security guard was unlicensed and had a warrant out for his arrest.
The point being made was.
What was he arrested for?
That I don't know. I can have the.
You know what it was?
Public urination.
Yeah, we only have one principal, so I'm not sure who they are and all
Yeah,
this.
and who's they? Are these the owners right here?
Yes.
Can they come up?
Sure. You want to come up, gentlemen?
This was done here before this.
Yeah.
Who owns this place? Who does? You're the manager? Do they have a manager on there?
All I have is Ashton Harewood.
I'm not sure.
You okay? There was,
Well, so why don't you explain to me what they've done to fix this stuff?
We put in,
I mean, so the extension of premises, you're not going to do that anymore?
Right.
I take it,
That's
correct?
correct. That was, again, that was one of the things I was referring to, which they inherited from a prior owner.
Just, I'm a little confused, just so I'm trying to keep track of my notes here. The last license here expired in, what, 2006,
2006.
Deputy Commissioner? So, and they got their license in 2009.
yeah, we just opened.
Yeah, but you're,
We never had a license before.
no, but there's a 3-year gap. You keep saying that the prior owners, there
oh,
was,
you know what?
was there a license?
That's a mistake. The 2009 is a mistake. These
Oh,
guys
okay.
were licensed, you're right, you just got it in 2015, because I'm still looking in 2015, I'm not seeing anything old.
Wait a minute.
2015.
Yeah.
This is a relatively new place. The 2009 was the prior owner.
Not a
on
good
a prior
date.
No.
ownership.
So that makes it worse, not better.
Yeah, but look on the application, it's fine.
Okay, so-
2014.
So this is all
Okay.
since
So
then.
it's filed 5
All right,
years
so you-
later?
But, so they have a licensed security guard company?
Yes.
That needs to change.
Well, I know, but the one you hired before was giving you guys with warrants out for their arrest. That clearly is a problem. Do you have a new one?
2015.
No,
Well, I suggest you get a new one.
Got a new, my clients will get a new one.
I mean, if they shouldn't be sending you people that the police are looking for.
Although I'll say that the one incident you had was with public urination, it's highly, that's not really a felony per se.
I'm not saying the guy's dangerous. I'm saying, though, that it's tough to have a security guard that the cops are out looking for. That doesn't really make sense, does it? So that I would question that company if I'm a. What do you want to do here, Commissioner?
Pretty much exactly as you started out about 10 minutes ago.
So you're not using a DJ anymore, correct?
That's correct or not.
What kind of music do you have?
So it's just recorded music, basically. Yeah.
And your application indicates you're not even going to have security, so if you are going to use security, you better apply to us to tell us you're going to do that.
When they do the renewal, they're going to do that.
Necessarily the forum for that.
Yeah, they should be doing it before. When's the renewal?
The renewals are due in February. That's the reason why I say it's going to be February. That's the reason why I suggested we do it.
We'll make sure that comes here.
The renewal?
No, you should be filing an amendment to the, an amendment to the
Well, we'll do
application.
amendment to the application then.
want to take the right question?
What?
We just want to take the right question because it's Brooklyn. So we don't want anybody walking anywhere and, that's why we have a security.
We have a whole people go to the police station. They come there, they invited anytime. They say get a security scanner that scans your license, you download.
That's all a great idea, but you got to tell us you're doing it.
Yeah. There will be amendments, I will file an amendment indicating exactly the steps being taken.
Okay. What?
All right. No DJ, recorded music only, licensed security.
Yeah.
What was the deal with this extension?
Outside backyard, you shouldn't be using that.
Again, they will not do it anymore. The reason why it was used, because again, the prior owner did that, and they were under the impression that it was 100% proper.
All right, so now you know.
Now we know we didn't, that's correct.
All right.
You change your name to, oh no, that got dismissed,
That was
okay.
dismissed.
All right, give me a number.
We'd have to get it approved, but yes, yeah. Yes.
I'll follow your lead here, Chairman. What do you think is reasonable?
13,000.
$13,000.
And then any amendment to the application comes to us, not the renewal, but any amendment.
You want, okay.
Yep.
Any method of op change, which
Yes,
would be
yeah.
this additional
Yeah,
security.
the name, something like the name or security we don't need, but method of op. Alterations, extension, anything.
Your Honor, when would you prefer, when do we have, how much time do we have to pay it?
Whenever you get it.
You'll get a letter from the Secretary's office giving you about 20 days to pay the penalty. So it'll be a little while before you get that letter.
The letter will probably be 2 weeks from now.
So, can we have some degree of leniency on the fine for 50,000?
Can you have what?
With some leniency regarding that.
Not with these charges, no. I mean, the leniency I'd give you, I'd drop it to like 11, but that doesn't sound like it's going to help them.
It might help them.
I'll go to 11.
11's fine with me.
Yep.
You have about a month.
Better than the alternative.
I understand that. I understand that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is all I asked for, some degree of.
All right, I don't have any other matters signed in.
All right, we're going to take 5 minutes, though, to...
What's that?
Quick point, DJ versus live music. Again, in the matter of 2626 Nickel Lounge.
What do you want to do?
My client, the DJ versus live music, you offered us one,
Right.
you dropped the other. My client would rather drop the live music and take the DJ. Can we do that?
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Great,
Yeah.
yeah, she already called a birthday party that wants to bring their DJ. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
You're on.
And we're going to return to the remaining items on the calendar. First one is 2564.
I don't have that one.
This is a improper conduct for untaxed cigarettes. I think it
2564?
might have been in your added items because there was a switch made of
Nope. Is not.
it was replaced with, one was placed with another.
Okay. It's a default, right?
Yes. The default is a prior sale to minor back in 2011.
Licensed since 2001. Are they able to get back their license to sell cigarettes?
Yes.
It's not forever.
What do you think?
I'm thinking 1,000.
How do you feel about 3,500?
Oh.
That's generally what we give the unlicensed cigarette.
Then 3,500
Okay.
it is.
Okay, the next item then is 2567.
I'm all right with that. I approve.
Original location. Yeah, they're just returning to original location. Approve.
2569.
I had here to dismiss or letter of warning, I don't know.
Let's just accept it. I want to accept the fee, just because it's their second one.
Improper notification. Yeah, all right.
500.
Accept 500.
Okay. 2571.
So this is, they can only use the yard for food, they can't use, I mean, for drinks, they can't use it for food?
They're going to stop using the yard though in any event.
Okay. I'll accept.
Accept.
2573.
Accept.
Accept.
2576.
You know me on these.
Yeah,
Letter of
you can
warning.
do, yeah, letter of warning.
2577.
I'm going to counter at 7,500, given that they didn't call the police.
7,500 counter.
2578.
3,500.
3,500.
2580.
This one has 3 different gross sales quotes here. Not sure which one to believe.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, whose case is this? Jared's? He must believe them, and he's,
We send them out and things like that.
he what?
I mean, when you guys get them, or they don't respond, we send enforcement out to check all this stuff.
Well, and I mean, this guy is saying that the numbers came from his tax return, but why would you put your tax return, like, he's saying he put his income, which, we're not asking for income, we're asking for revenue.
Also including lottery sales.
Not to mention, it's a crime when he's signing these letters and, I mean, don't we require them to swear to this?
So it's in the letter. Your representations must be true and.
Yeah, I'm going to counter at 10,000. I mean, we rely on those numbers, I can't.
10,000 counter.
2581.
Accept.
Accept.
2582.
Cancel for the record. There's no bond, right?
Right.
Nope. Cancel.
No. There is a bond, but the offer, no, the bond was already paid back in,
Right.
number 4, right? 2584.
3,500.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, 3,500.
2585.
3,000.
3,000.
2586.
You know, a 10,000 counter, because this is, Marguerite, this is your case?
Yeah.
Couldn't we do a books and records charge here too, or no? Since if the shipping labels are removed, you can't tell, even if you look at the receipts, you can't tell.
We didn't have the receipts at first.
Why did I think that we could do a books and
Right,
records?
but no, because he was unable to produce the wholesale receipts.
Right.
Oh, right, so I could have done, you're right.
You can amend that, if that ends up going to hearing, just amend it. But it's a counter of 10,000, because if they're cutting labels out of boxes, whatever, exactly what you thought was going on was going on.
Exactly, 10,000.
2587 and 2588.
I'll accept.
3250 accept.
2590 and 2591.
I felt a suspension was in order here too. Give them time to clean things up.
Well, this is just, we can counter with that if you want. What? Doesn't mean they're going to take it, but what were you looking for?
30 days. Place, live rats, stuff like that. Sounds a pretty disgusting place.
And how much?
Make it 7,500 plus 30-day suspension.
Okay. Counter that.
2592.
7, I'll accept.
Accept.
2593.
I would vote to accept. They were cooperative.
All right, accept.
Accept.
2595.
Bona fide.
Cancel and bond.
I just can't, we already claimed the bond on the last one.
All right, cancel.
Just cancel.
2596, 2597.
I just wanted to note that it wasn't clear whether this was a nuisance abatement to the board, but there was a summons issued to an employee on March 11, and then after that, they decided to matter.
All right, so I'll counter at 12,000.
They're still closed right now, though, right? I think it looks like it. Yeah, counter at 12.
2598.
I'm going to counter 15,000 and 7-day suspension.
15 and 7.
2599.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond. Been closed since June.
2600.
6,000 accept.
6,000 accept.
2601.
I'll accept.
Accept.
2602.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
Because of the availing.
2603.
That's the same case, right? As 20, oh no, we had two 2602s in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 2603.
All health code violations have been corrected.
I'll accept.
Accept.
2604.
Should be 3,000.
I'll accept. Yeah, it should be 3. Why did they, did you give them 2,500 for a reason, Margarita, or is this,
Yeah, on the pleading date, the licensee principal representative had his license for 18 years, and apparently I shouldn't have relied on his word, but apparently Mr. Donovan caught the fact that he hasn't been licensed. So,
all right, so counter at 3,000. Actually, then it should be 3,500, because he's under 18, right? Okay, 3,500.
3,500.
But you would take 5 off for being licensed at least 5 years.
Correct, so 3,000, you're right.
2605.
6,000.
Yeah, 6,000, second time this year.
2606.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
2607.
5,000.
5,000.
2608. And actually, this is 2564, 2565, 2566, and 2608. I'm not sure why it came out this way, but it did.
So they want 5,000 and a surrender. I'll take a surrender on 15,000. Otherwise, it's 5,000 and cancel. Or cancel and bond, whatever they want.
So you want to give an option then?
You can just give him the
15K
15 and surrender.
Okay. Commissioner?
15 and surrender.
Okay.
Can you? Is that a tough case, Margarita?
we had some trouble getting the people to arrive here when the military leave.
Oh, so you are going to have a problem with this?
Yeah, there were issues with the dates and.
All right, I'll take it then. I'll accept it.
5,000, is that what?
Yeah, and surrender.
Yep.
2609.
3,500.
3,500.
2610.
Is this, did they ever do the renewal here?
Yeah.
They expired in
I know,
February.
that's got to be wrong, because I don't know how I missed that. Hold on for a second.
They're expired.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
Oh,
This was an
okay.
interesting one.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was kind of odd. They had expired way back then. 2611.
Says the iced tea hid the beer, but the $2 receipt kind of,
No,
makes
this
it
guy
look like-
screwed up. 6,500.
yeah,
And sustain the charge.
6,500, charge sustained.
2612.
1,500 and sustain the charge.
1,500, sustain the charge.
2615.
I don't know. What do you think? Letter of warning, maybe 500 the most?
500.
500.
2616.
I looked at this, it looks like maybe the sale to minor count one might be a dupe. but
That's what I wondered. Yeah, that's what I wondered.
There's no paperwork scanned in the system, but I suspect it's the same. That's all.
So it's really just one sale, so that would be their second sale. So 10,000.
So you want to dismiss number one and 10,000?
Well, I don't know which one to dismiss, so I'm not dismissing anything, I'm just going 10,000.
Okay.
10,000.
2617.
Charges dismissed.
I'll accept.
Accept.
2618.
Cancel, I'll accept.
Cancel, accept.
2619.
$5,000, because this is just bull, what they did here. And they caused a lot of issues for us.
5,000?
Yes.
5,000.
2620.
Dismiss the
Dismiss.
charge.
2621.
Dismiss 1, sustain 2, and cancel and bond.
Ditto.
2622.
Sustain the charge. 500.
500.
2623.
Letter of warning.
Letter of warning.
2624.
Accept.
Accept.
2625.
Accept.
Accept.
2637.
I am, so this is a declaratory ruling on the use of monitors to do sales in liquor stores, and I'm fine with the business plan and the method of operation, but the only thing I would limit it to is that the sales requirements that the wholesalers can impose on the liquor stores, the minimums, which are very minimum, have to remain where they are, which I believe is 2 to 4 cases. Let me just read it. A retailer only has to purchase a minimum of 4 different brands, each requiring a 2 to 6 case purchase from the list. That has to remain constant, or they're in violation. If they need to change it, they need to get another declaratory ruling. Otherwise, I approve.
Approved. Same terms.
$26.38.
Accept.
Accept. 7,500. 2639 was withdrawn.
2639 was withdrawn.
Withdrawn?
2639 was withdrawn,
Really?
yes.
We know why?
No. I do know that the minute somebody got wind of it, I started getting phone calls asking, by the opposition, asking when it was going to be back on, and then it was withdrawn.
Because they just flip-flopped again, and now they're opposed. They were opposed, then they were for it, now they're opposed again.
2642 is being held over again, this time by the applicant, and it's going to be on for the first meeting January the 4th.
Okay.
2651 has also been adjourned to 1220. 2657.
They're not here, right? Do they need to be here to approve going beyond 10,000?
You can accept their offer as, they're waiving it.
That's what I'm saying, that's a waiver, or, we do have a letter.
I spoke to Mr. Rizzuti about this, and it looked like the counsel's office initially attempted to negotiate a $10,000 fine with some suspension time, but the licensee tried to, come up with a fine before he went to the suspension, so.
And the signed letter is sufficient of a waiver, you think? I mean, they put 12,005 in it.
I think it's evidence that, I don't know if it's evidence that they know it's above the maximum, but it's at least evidence that they're offering 12.5. I'm
Okay.
not sure if they know there's a maximum.
All right, I'll take it. Accept.
Accept 12.5.
2658.
Accept.
Accept.
All right. 2659 was returned to counsel's office. And those are the only items I have. The only other thing I have is, I have the minutes I sent to you for the meeting before last and the decisions.
The meeting, the minutes, I approved, the decisions I have not read, but I will read on my way home tonight. The other decisions I gave you, right?
Right, so can we deem that once you get back to me, they're approved?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Other than that, I have nothing else.